Welcome back, chooms. My name is LastKnownMeal, and today in Cyberpunk 2077 I will be going through the latest and newest mods I have been using in my own Cyberpunk 2077 playthrough. Do keep in mind that the modding community has been very active, creating amazing features and additions to the game that are definitely elevating the experience you can have with these mods. So today I'm gonna be going through the mods I have been using, and without further wasting your time, let's get into it. So the first mod we're going to install is called Immersive Vik. Now, this mod I've been following ever since basically Deceptious announced that he is gonna be working on this one, so I'm honestly very glad this mod came out because it's one of the things that the game should have had in the original version itself. So what it does, it actually creates an immersive way of putting out actual cyberware if you go to Vik only. Do keep in mind other reproductors do not have this feature, but I do believe he said that he might actually go and implement this for other doctors as well. Once you go and talk to him, he's going to do a nice animation, and he's going to actually repeat the animation from the prologue of the game. He's going to approach the chair, we sit in the chair, and from here on we can actually start choosing what things we want to do, like changing the appearance of the character or doing some work, and boom, it opens up everything. As you can see, I can change this, use whatever I want, and once I'm basically done with this, let me for example see if I change to Mantis Blades, if anything is gonna happen. I probably doubt it's going to have, yeah, it's not going to have an animation, but of course once you stand up the animation is going to be done. Is gonna go away and V is going to exit. I think this is one of my favorite mods for Cyberpunk 2077 period. Now the next mod we're gonna be talking about is going to be about the stock market and news in Cyberpunk 2077. So ever since Cyberpunk was supposed to come out in the Corpo playthrough, there was an actual UI showcasing stock market in Night City and the world of Cyberpunk, and people said we want that. So of course modders have went and created the stock market you can use in the game. So only thing you have to do is approach a PC and get here. And now if we go to the stock market, for example here, and we click it, we're going to have a few things. Well, first off, we're going to have to log in. So to log in, just click on name. It's going to be Vincent in the case of my male V, the password here, and log in here. So it's going to do a really nice animation, which I love how they actually handle this one. And here we have the home. Here you can actually invest into a few companies, including the Night Corp, Biotechnica, Quant or Quiant. You can also invest in NCPD, because NCPD in the world of Cyberpunk is a private corporation, because do keep in mind that Night City does not have public servants like, for example, like cops you have today. So here we have the home button. Here we, for example, if we click to Night Corp, we can see like how much do we want to put into each transaction. So we're going to put 740. After here, obviously I have a lot of money I can spend, so I'm going to buy some of the stocks of the actual Night Corp, because you can see here the portfolio is going down. So once this line goes up, we're going to sell all of this and make profit. Well, at least that's what people tell themselves what's gonna happen. So here we go into the stocks. We're going to have all of the companies available, like Whole Foods, Arasaka, and every single one is going to have a different graph, which is obviously, as I said, going to change. So you have to follow a little bit of the news and have these phone notifications, I believe, which we can actually like use here. And for example, here we're going to be able to read the latest news, which should influence how the stock market is actually going to perform in Cyberpunk. So yes, you can now invest into all of these companies, Trauma Team, Zetatech, and everything, and actually make money. I love this feature a lot. I love how this is implemented, and definitely do recommend using this. And I just realized I invested about 1 million. Oops, that was a wrong button, but nevertheless we invested some money. Alright, now the next supplementary mod which we are going to install for this thing, for the stock market and news, is going to be a smart window from E3 2018, I believe, where they show this in the apartment, which was not available in the game. So once we approach the window, we're going to have a few things. We're going to have the latest stock market depending on which thing we are investing. Here we can see some of the news, messages, and also Here we can set up different, for example, moods in the apartment itself. It's a very nice immersive thing, which I do recommend everyone to install and get, because honestly this is amazing, and it serves as such a nice supplement to this and to the apartment itself, which makes sense that a Cyberpunk apartment is going to have something similar to this. I mean, we have smart glasses and these things today, so I mean, having it in the game is kinda normal, so I definitely recommend installing this one as well. Now the next mod we're going to cover is going to be called E3 2018 Inventory, which basically does what it says. It gives you the inventory, or well, inspired by the inventory which was shown in Cyberpunk 2077 during E3 of 2018. If we go to inventory, we can see that our character is going to look different. So we're going to get the full character, and here we're going to have different types of outfits that you can put. So for example, if we click on head, it's going to give us all of the head items, or well, the head slot items we have in our inventory. If we click on face, it's going to do for the face one and for the outer torso, inner torso, and everywhere else. Here you have the quick access. As you can see, it also comes with a custom icons for weapons depending on each weapon you're gonna be choosing, so that is going to be an optional thing you're going to download from the mod page itself. Remember, first download the main mod and then download the actual weapon icons to make them look like this, which is going to be amazing. Like for example, if we click on this thing, is going to give us all of the available weapons we have. Now, I actually don't have a lot of weapons in my inventory, but of course if you equip it, it's going to look like this. So you just click here and you put guts here and the actual Malorian arms and everywhere else, like for example including the M22-1 Saratoga. The map is also going to change. You get this really nice look overall. The character tab is also going to change. The journal is going to stay similar, of course, as it was, but do keep in mind some of the things which are going to change is going to be like the actual color scheme of the main menu. I definitely recommend this one because honestly I really love how this UI looks, and it's very clean once you get used to it. The next mod we're going to cover is going to be Natural Californian Light. This mod is amazing because number one, it creates an amazing color reshade throughout the game to basically try and mimic the natural Californian light you have in LA and in California in general. Also, do keep in mind that even though this is technically a recolor or a reshade, this doesn't require reshade as a software, which does mean that your PC is not going to start stuttering if you have a lower spec PC, because once you install a reshade, usually that's when problems start, because reshade is going to be demanding for your PC, but this one does not require it. Only thing you have to do is copy and paste the file into the Cyberpunk directory like I showed you in my previous videos, but it actually makes everything look nice. It removes some of the tint which the original game has and makes everything a little bit more natural. But this mod is nice because those light and dark areas, especially some of the more demanding, how would I say, weather changes in the game, are not affected too much by this, and it's not going to be causing issues where some of the game is going to be too bright and other part of the game is going to be dark. So the next mod we're going to cover is going to be also here in the apartment. It's called Equipment FX. Now Equipment FX is an amazing piece of a mod because it's going to add a proper, how would I say, UI into how your outfits and how your transmog is going to work. And also Equipment EX is actually amazing because you can implement and put like different mods into this to make it better. It's also going to add a few things. For example, it's going to add you new wardrobe sets which you can actually select here. It's going to properly categorize each part of the actual outfit so you can navigate through it easily, and you can search through it by name. This is easier to do, especially if you're changing your gear all the time. It works perfectly with all of the other UI mods which I've been using, like for example the E3 2018 one. And yeah, it actually is amazing because it's easy to use. It's more like it's easier to view, like for example each part of the actual outfit slot on the character, and you can search by name, and also adding different wardrobe sets. I do believe that this is going to add a max of 30 wardrobe sets you can actually use in the game. So we can switch around and see which thing we want to change, which thing we want to remove, etc, etc. Now of course I don't want to combine this on the jacket as well, so I'm going to change that later on, but it just gives you a glimpse of what to expect. But for example, if we remove it, it's going to stay this way. But yeah, this is just how it is on that part. For example, if we add this, it's going to add next to this, so it's going to give you this ability to mix and match more outfit slots than you were ever able to do. So huge props for this mod and definitely recommend using it. Next mod we're going to cover is called More Climbable Objects, and this mod does exactly what it says. It's going to enable more objects within Cyberpunk 2077 to be climbable, because parkour can be really amazing in this game, especially if you have your character fully decked out in terms of stamina and also in terms of speed, as well as adding the double jump or hold jump cyberware on your legs. So traversing that way can be a lot of fun. Now of course the problem is that some objects within the game itself cannot be climbed, which usually can result in your character just stopping, so your parkouring can get a little bit tedious. But with this one it enables more objects, so that parkour is going to feel even better. Next mod we're going to check out is going to be somewhat of my personal preference, and the name of the mod is Colored Avatars. So what is this going to do? Well, the avatars when someone calls you or when you call someone is going to be different. So for example, if we call the Bartmus Collective, the actual image is going to be different, or if we call some of the other characters that we know. So avatar is going to be different, it's going to add a little bit more color into it. So let's for example call Takemura. So Takemura, as you can see, the actual avatar is going to be different. It's actually going to have some color this time before he picks up. So without further, going into spoilers in this chat and in this talk, this is the actual mod which I actually recommend you go for if you like this sort of a color palette on a holo call. And the last but not the least important mod on the list is going to be Hacking Gets Tedious. So what this mod does, it basically removes the hacking, or well, it makes the hacking breach a lot easier without you having to do the actual minigame every single time. So for example, if we breach the protocol of this guy, we are going to put like 1C here, boom, it's going to basically upload all of the daemons straight away and target is going to be hacked. This is going to be the same for every other target or anything that you can hack. I don't recommend this at the start of the game because it can be kind of strong and a little bit, it can break the game for you, especially if you have this mod installed. But of course, if you just want to go and do the hacking without the usual stuff where you have to go and do it every single time, then this is a mod for you. And these were all of the mods I have for you today. Don't forget to tell me down below if I missed any mods that you wish me to cover in my future videos. If you want to know how to install these mods, and if you want to also look at the previous modding videos I have done, you have all of them at the end of this video and in the description of the video itself. Thank you so much for watching. As I said, don't forget to tell me down below what do you think about all of this, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe for more and like the video itself. Also, don't forget to check us out on Twitter and Discord, and huge thanks to my current Patreon community. If you wanted to support the channel in an extra way, I do have a Patreon page and you can join through YouTube as well. This is LKM signing out, stay classy everyone, and bye bye.